This Commonwealth country is actually the world's second largest. Most of that land area, however, is complete wilderness. That is certainly one of the draws of Canada, the utterly vast expanses of nature to really and truly get lost in. Its national parks are truly massive, offering picture-perfect vistas. Mountaineering, hiking, boating, swimming, cycling. There's a lot of rewards here if you're a fan of the great outdoors. Spot grizzly bears in Banff National Park, hit the powdered slopes of Whistler, or taste your way through some of Vancouver's freshest wild salmon. There's something in Canada for everyone. Away from the stunning nature of Canada, also including the Great Lakes region, you can explore its culture and history. Get stuck into the francophone region of Quebec, the sparkling skyscrapers and East Asian culture pockets in Vancouver, Toronto's elegant Victorian architecture, and Canada's chateau-style grand railway hotels and neo-Gothic public buildings in Ottawa. Plan your trip to this wonderful travel destination. We show you some of the best places to visit in Canada before starting video. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Number 1. Toronto. The sprawling city of Toronto is the most densely populated city in Canada, with nearly 3 million residents. Located on the shores of Lake Ontario, Toronto forms part of the Golden Horseshoe region, which encompasses the area from the lake to Niagara Falls. As the provincial capital of the Ontario province, Toronto is also one of the most multicultural cities in the world, with just shy of 100 ethnic communities calling it home. It's one of the only places in Canada where more than half of the residents were not born in the country. But it's this melting pot that makes Toronto what it is. Some of the street signs are written in different languages, and diverse neighborhoods have their own distinctive cuisine. There's so much culture to be found in the inner city proper amongst its towering skyscrapers and thousands of multicultural restaurants. Number 2. Montreal. Montreal is the second largest city in the Quebec province, located where the St. Lawrence and Ottawa rivers meet. Montreal is Canada's capital of culture. It's also one of the most diverse, energetic, welcoming, and forward-thinking cities in North America, with modern street art, an energetic breed of musicians, and a great party scene in its newer parts. While English is spoken, it's not the most common language. It's actually the second largest city in the world to speak French as a first language outside of France. So it's easy to see why it's earned its nickname as the Paris of North America. Montreal's cityscape is a pleasure to visit all year round. It's especially beautiful in autumn, when the trees turn burnt orange around the iconic cityscape. Old Montreal is the highlight with its cobbled streets, quaint museums, and historical buildings, some of which date back to the 17th century. Don't miss the chance to climb up the clock tower in the Quai de l'Horloge for some exceptional views over the St. Lawrence River and the city in the distance. Number 3. Vancouver. The massive city of Vancouver is one of the largest in Canada. Located in southwestern British Columbia, it's a famous foodie hotspot, especially for seafood, like its celebrated freshly caught prawns and wild salmon. Because of its melting pot of cultures, you'll find no shortage of mixed cuisine here, making dining out one of the city's simple, but by no means underrated pleasures. Vancouver's star attraction is Stanley Park, covering 1,000 acres of woodlands, gardens, and green spaces. This park features an aquarium, water park, and the picturesque seawall. Some of Vancouver's other top sites include Granville Island's remarkable food market and Canada Place's waterfront complex, housing the Vancouver Convention Centre. One of Vancouver's most popular neighborhood is Chinatown, with its vibrant array of shops, restaurants, and stunning gardens. Number 4. Quebec City. Quebec City may be the capital of the Quebec province in eastern Canada, but its French heritage, architecture, and language make it appear more like a charming European village. Perched on a hill overlooking the St. Lawrence River is Vieux-Quebec, the city's historic district, which is the only North American city still retaining its original walls. A walk along the cobblestone streets of the Old City offers encounters with old buildings like the Citadel and historic sites like the Place Royale, the area where explorer Samuel de Champlain established the first North American French settlement. Cafes, shops, and bars are peppered throughout the Old City. Number 5. Ottawa. Located at the meeting point of 3 rivers, Ottawa is Canada's capital city, home to the 6th largest population in the country, and growing. Unusually, the city is bilingual. Don't be surprised to hear people speaking a mix of English and French. Both are first languages here. Previously known as Bytown, Ottawa was once a lumber town, with many mills built along the Ottawa River in the middle of the 19th century. Today, it's a beautiful green city filled with blissful parks and waterways. Biking is popular in the summer months, and these trails are converted to ski trails come winter. Running right through the heart of the city, the Rideau Canal is a must-visit. In winter, the canal becomes the world's largest ice skating ring. Number 6. Calgary, the largest city in Alberta. Calgary is situated between the Canadian prairies and the foothills of the Canadian Rockies. After oil was discovered nearby in the early 1900s, Calgary boomed into what is now one of Canada's largest metropolitan areas, attracting thousands every year to its world-famous rodeo event, the Calgary Stampede. While Calgary is comprised of several neighborhoods, the downtown core is where the commercial, entertainment, and shopping districts are located. Stephen Avenue Walk and Barclay Mall are two popular pedestrian zones. Calgary is home to a large number of skyscrapers with observation decks, offering incredible views of the city and Rocky Mountains. The most notable of these are the Bow and Calgary Tower. There are also many family attractions, including a world-class zoo, amusement parks, botanical gardens, a hands-on science center. Number 7. Winnipeg. This thriving city in the prairies of central Canada may not be the first image that jumps to mind when thinking about the best places to visit in Canada. But if you are traveling in summer, Winnipeg is worth a stop. Surrounded by fields, many of which glow yellow in summer with canola or sunflowers, and set along the Red and Assiniboine rivers, the city is surprisingly scenic. The dynamic and Fun Forks Market, at the confluence of the two rivers, has restaurants and outdoor walking trails, a skating rink in winter, and is one of the first places tourists should visit. Also in this area is one of Canada's premier museums, the Canadian Museum for Human Rights. Number 8. Victoria. British Columbia's beautiful capital city Victoria has a quaint small-town atmosphere, perhaps due to its island location. Set at the southern tip of Vancouver Island, the city has a mild year-round climate, with wet, mild winters and warm, glorious summers. Victoria is one of the warmest places in Canada in winter, attracting Canadians from colder parts of the country, from late fall until spring. Views around the city are stunning in every direction, looking out over the harbor, south over the Strait of Juan de Fuca to Washington State, or across to the mountains on mainland British Columbia. Most of the tourist activity is focused around Victoria's inner harbor, where the Parliament buildings and the historic Fairmont Empress Hotel are located. A stroll along the waterfront on a sunny day is gorgeous. Just outside the city center are beaches and lovely coastal areas, as well as parks and hiking trails. Number 9. Kelowna. In the interior of British Columbia is the lovely city of Kelowna. This city is a favorite spot for Canadians but less well known internationally. Picturesquely set on the shore of Lake Okanagan and surrounded by rolling mountains, Kelowna draws tourists during the summer months, when it's possible to hike, golf, or enjoy the lake at one of the many wonderful beaches in town. Renting a houseboat to explore the surrounding waters is a popular summer vacation in this area. In winter, the surrounding mountains are a hotspot for skiers, with the popular nearby ski resorts of Big White and Silver Star, two of British Columbia's best ski resorts, within easy reach. Number 10. Halifax. Halifax is a great city for anyone looking for an introduction to Canada's maritime provinces. The Halifax waterfront is the main tourist hub in the city, particularly during the summer months, with a few historic buildings and plenty of activity. Overlooking the city is the Halifax Citadel National Historic Site, one of the city's main attractions. Outside the city are a number of small coastal villages that offer a good glimpse of life in the Maritimes. One of the most famous villages is Peggy's Cove, home to the most photographed lighthouse in the Maritimes. A little further afield are Lunenburg and Mahone Bay, also well worth a visit. Taking a day trip from Halifax is highly recommended. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share.